Good morning. I see Coach. Coach is dressed up for this one. I appreciate him. Coach is now with us. You guys want to get your questions together for him, and then we'll get going. First question to Kellis Robinette.
Well, Bruce, what's the news on DeJuan?
Not the worst, but not the best. Not anything severe, but definitely, it's going to be probably longer than quicker, the recovery, but it was not a Jones fracture, which was our first fear, after they did the first examination. So, which is good, but, knowing him, we didn't think last time he'd be able, this is the other foot. We didn't think last time he would come back like he did, as quick as he did. He's got, a great drive, a good pain tolerance. He already put in a lot of time with Luke yesterday and this morning. He wants sooner than later, but, we'll just have to see how he responds. A different injury than just a sprain.
Okay. How did you feel like the team handled, him not being available the other day in the lineup?
I think they did fine. It's obviously somebody brought it up after the game. He leads us on to play hard. Not only leads us, but I think he's 30 or 40 the next one, and probably 50 over the other guys. So, we miss his energy. I think he's our leading rebounder. We'll miss that. But, I thought the other guys came in. Obviously, he's got more experience than maybe Luke and Selton. But, we had a chance to win the game. We battled. We did a lot of good things. I really thought if we held them in the 50s, we would have won the game. That was our goal. They got 44 in the second half. We had some breakdowns on the defensive end. And they made some shots, and they made free throws. They normally shoot, I think it was 65 or even less, and they go 22 for 26. And they, Chandler stepped up, made some threes. And so it was obviously a tough loss for our guys, but at least, I thought we made some progress as a team and did some good things. Now, can we, the big question is, can we keep going forward? Even though we obviously have another setback without DeJuan.
And, KU, they're struggling a little bit more than usual, but they always seem to bring it when they play you guys. What's your scouting report on the Jayhawks right now?
Well, it's pretty obvious. They've had their struggles also, not as severe as ours, but they've lost 4 to 5 for them. That's not a normal thing. They've had some shooting woes, and that's what worries me the most is, I think if they don't shoot it well, obviously that's to our benefit. I think the big thing is we got to stay in front of them and keep them out of the paint. Obviously, Garrett's very, very good at getting to the paint. They have started throwing it inside a lot to McCormick. They go to their, they've been going to their big guy more, kind of like a little more confidence with him, trying to find some scoring because they haven't shot it well. So we got to do a great job of preparation of some of their quick hitters where they feed the post that they've been really good at in the past. I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls out some kind of gimmick defense. He's ran triangle and 2 and boxing 1, and he's used the zone against us. So we got to, they need a win, we need a win. Both teams hopefully will come in a special rivalry, come and get after it.
All right, thanks, Bruce. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Next question of Michael Goins.
Yeah, Bruce, what do you do lineup related with in DeJuan's absence?
I think Selton would move back in. Antonio had a good stretch for us, gave us a nice boost. We just need some consistency out of both those guys. I mean, Luke's going to play. I don't think you can play big against them because, they really play small most of the game. Obviously, if they would go big, that we'd be able to match it with Casey, Davion, Carlton, Surrey. So it's a little different game. We thought the other day we could play some big, which we did, even though they went little, and they took advantage of us a little bit when they went little. And their Miller and Flags made some, had some points in that one stretch that, was maybe the difference or one of the differences in the game. So, Luke's got to play. Luke played the other night, I think 15, 16 minutes. He very, very solid, did a nice job on defense. There's not a whole lot of choices, to be honest. So, hopefully those guys, stay out of foul trouble and a couple other guys got to make some shots. That when you study the stats, it's pretty obvious that, one, we got to be a little more patient, get to the free throw line, get the ball inside, get in the paint. And then two, if we're going to shoot threes, we got to step up and make them.
And Nigel the other day mentioned some shooting refinements. Have those come since he was on campus, and what have those consist of?
We've worked with them, obviously. We put a lot of time into shooting. It hasn't shown that, and I think we're better shooters than we have shown. I think some of it's confidence. I know with Rudy, with Luke, just some of it experience and getting out there. Selton was, I mentioned after the game the other day, he was in the 40s in high school, and we need some of those guys to make some of those open shots, which will hopefully spread the defense and then allow us to get in the paint. Antonio would be nice too. But, Nigel, when we were talking about one of his workouts in return to play, and he hit 80 out of 100 threes. When we did it, we tracked the threes, or we tracked the shots in his return to play, how many shots he's allowed each day, kind of pushing himself. And one of them, he, like I say, made 80 out of 100. So, we've talked a lot with him about footwork. We've talked a lot about getting his legs and that follow through at the end. And obviously he was pretty, he had a special night the other night. It would have been nice to have a win with it.
Has he worked on a quicker release, or do you know exactly what he's worked on?
No, I think just being ready, legs, feet, footwork. That's what shooting is. And that's what we've really tried to emphasize. And I think he had to go through it. He said it. I think I've said, what he's told me before on the media, that, hey, it's an adjustment. You don't realize how quick and physical and athletic the college game is. I kind of laughed. Carlton was on a radio show the other day, and he said he watched the games last year and thought, man, I think I can be all right in this, playing against these guys. And then you get here and you find out, hey, this is a whole nother level. And, you got to adjust and learn and grow. And that's what those guys are going through.
Thanks, Bruce.
Other questions? Okay. Next question to Tim Fitzgerald.
Hey, Coach, what do you see from KU? What has been kind of the source of their issues, if you want to call it that, for Kansas this season?
Well, I think shooting is one of the things. I think that's, you look at their stats overall, shooting, it's dropped, since they got in conference. Obviously, the conference is really good. And I said it, I don't know if to you guys, I've done so many Zooms, maybe the other media, the TV guys, but, they don't have that true experienced point guard. And, you think about Dotson and you think about Mason, these guys, they're NBA players. And when you have that, and then you have, big fellas inside, how do you form a team? You get a point guard, a leader, you get a big man inside, it's the old Al McGuire and Dick Vitale, get your leader, your general, get your aircraft carrier, whatever, battleship inside. And they've had that. And then they've mixed in obviously very, very talented players around it that make them effective. So they have Garrett's a really, really good player. And when they had Garrett and Dotson last year, you had 2 point guards. So both of them were creating. And that, it made them so effective. Now they got some young, good guards coming up. They just are freshmen. And you look at Frank Mason when he was a freshman. Bill did not love playing him. I mean, we always thought, man, he's good, but then he would make a mistake. And the same thing with Dotson. Obviously he had Mason there, but those guys will, they'll get better, and I'm sure they've hit a little bit of a dip here, but I'm sure they'll have a good finish to the season.
And were you a little bit surprised to see Gene Taylor talking about your status and with a couple of reporters this weekend?
I'll be honest, I don't even know if he did or not. I don't. So. Okay.
Was Saturday refreshing? I know you lost, but to be in a game, to see how your guys responded and to have a guy like Nigel step up?
Yeah, I mean, I was happy and I was sad. I mean, I wanted it so badly for our guys. We've gone through so much. When you talk about being tested every day, it's hard, and it makes it tough. So I thought they came back with great energy, and they battled their tail off, and that's all we can ask for.
Thanks, Coach.
And it was really good, for Nigel. I mean, he was, we put a lot of pressure on him. I said I didn't want to put so much pressure on him coming back, 30-some, I had hoped the other day to keep him in the 20s and build up to 30, but, you're playing him 37, 38 minutes. And there were a couple times he was popped, and that, and we had to use our timeouts just to give a little bit of rest. But he stepped up, and he was pretty good.
Okay, another question to Kellis Robinette.
One thing that did kind of pique my interest in the A&M game was Davion. I think he played 27 foul-less minutes and then took a long breather on the bench. Was he just winded, or was there some strategy involved with that choice?
I mean, just to keep him fresh, and Casey went in and got a couple things done. We needed to rotate. We had played him a lot of minutes, and they went little. Casey's a little bit better, probably on the perimeter than he is. I think if we're pushing 20, I joked a while ago he had never played. He had played some. Careful not to overdo it.
Okay. And I know, just given some of the history you guys have had with KU in recent years, do you still talk to the guys for this game, telling them no matter what, just keep cool heads?
Yeah, I definitely. I was watching our game last year, and it hit me late last night that I got to make sure I talk to them about what happened last year was not the right way to have any game finish, whether it's against them or anyone else. And we got to make sure we keep our poise and play the right way and act the right way.
All right. I like that picture of Wes you got back there in the green Mavericks jersey. That's pretty sharp.
The old school. Old school teams. Yep.
All right. Hey, thanks for your time.
Yep.
Any other questions for Coach before we let him go? Okay. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it as always. Thank you, Coach. See you in just a minute.
Thanks. Bye.